In this field of recycling, if you think about, there are many great manufacturers of equipment. Some of them have been around for 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. But what I see is a lack of comprehensive solution providers, right? Solution providers, we could call it as EPC companies, engineering, procurement and construction companies, which will take care of the whole thing. Looking at the best equipments to buy from every manufacturer all across the world, integrating them and then harnessing them to each country's or specific geographical regions palette, and making and ensuring that customers' profitability is of prime importance. Does it fit the profitability bill? Does it ensure that the customer is profitable? As time goes by, with my experiences, my learnings over all these years, I feel there are many manufacturers, but what is required today is to have more amount of integrators, more amount of solution providers, more amount of EPC companies in the recycling field. Now EPC means engineering, procurement and construction companies. That means they will take care of everything, understanding what your needs are, then taking care of how to source it, then how to integrate it, and of course commissioning and handing it over to you in the right fashion. And the whole purpose, again I'm going to reiterate it for a minute, is all about ensuring customers' profitability. And EPC is a more of a customized kind of a plant than just a standalone or a packaged plant kind of a thing, right? If I have to give an example of why an EPC versus just a completely fully packaged plant, the best example would be like buying mobile phones, right? Now when you want to buy a mobile phone for many people in your organization, everyone has different needs, right? So everyone has different needs. Like there could be somebody from the engineering who would have needs which are of high memory and for more clarity, better megapixels and other things. You would require to have a high-end phone, a very high-end phone, whereas you could have somebody who's into dispatches and all, which for him just having just calling ability, that's all is more important to him. Cameras don't matter to you. And of course, if your wife is there with you, will be all of the men out there are going to agree they will require to have a phone with a very good very good camera, with in fact very good selfie capabilities, and so on and so forth. So it could be possible that if you want to buy those phones, you could have one manufacturer being able to give it. But more often than not, what I have seen is that you would have to pick up different phones from different manufacturers, and then actually everything will foot the bill. Maybe you would have to also integrate some of the wireless wireless phones also around. If you have a remote possibility of go down somewhere and when you have to communicate, you might require to have a walkie-talkie facility also. So your whole communication requirement could require a sphere of different communication devices, which might not be manufactured by single one. Same applies here also. So a solution provider will understand your requirements in detail, then go deep into it and ask you 50,000 more questions, go understand, fine-tune your requirements, and then scout around the world to find what is the best which is available out there, and which again, and of course the last and amazing again point of view is still is able to get that whole solution in the value which is needed in that particular geographical area or that country, all that. As you can understand, I keep on talking about value again because the cost of capitals are different. Let's suppose in India our cost of capitals are going to be in upwards of 10-12%, and so in the European countries it could be maybe 3-4%. In the US it could be again 3-4-2%, right? And maybe some other countries may be lower, maybe higher. So everywhere when you put this value sheet, this return on investment sheet, which is important, that there we will have to have these values also incorporated. That is why again those cost of funds are different. Our mortgages which we have to do in India for new greenfield projects are different. Maybe in Thailand it could be different, in Vietnam it could be different, it could be different in Europe, or maybe in the US, in the UK, so everywhere. So we have to keep on thinking those demographics also when we are designing solutions or we are buying solutions, I would say. So that is precisely why I feel a solution provider is of an immense value right now. As a manufacturer, it is quite possible that sometimes, or most often than not, you're restricted by what you are manufacturing, right? The world is evolutionary. There's technological advances being happening in every single sphere of activity. May it be conveying, may it be the motors, may it be the metallurgy, our alloys, which are getting evolved on a daily basis. Very, very difficult for a manufacturer to keep a tab on what's happening new in every sphere, which affects the complete manufacturing line which they offer in the marketplace. Whereas if you look at an EPC, EPC company who's so focused on solution, is all open-minded. They're able to pick and choose the best technologies in every sphere, let alone the critical equipments. It could be the control panels, it could be conveying systems, screenings, separators, or every single sphere which is going through an evolutionary change. They can bring on the best technologies from everywhere onto the table and harness and structure it to the customer's requirement, and to ensure again the profitability is there in that particular marketplace. And that is what is one of the major differences, which is the difference between the manufacturer and the EPC. Secondly, EPCs are brand and country agnostic, right? For them the solutions are more important than which brands are they able to source the solution from, which countries are they, or from which demographics. They don't care. If there is an equipment coming out of Timbuktu which fits the bill and it has got the great qualities certified and everything else is in place, they don't care, right? Because it's more about the customer solutions than about any country, any demographics, all that. The whole right to bragging is all about how profitable have we been able to make the customer, rather than which country it is being manufactured with, or where it comes from, or how old was it company. How does it matter?